again, we're under assault, and I'll tell you about it afterwards, after you come here. This presentation is due to one and one person only, and that is Professor Thomas Bundenthal, who has a number of missions in life, one of which is to enlighten students and to raise the academic level of this campus to a very high intellectual level, particularly with presentations. He is responsible for Dr. Oliver Mogga coming here today. Without Thomas Bundenthal, we would not have this. And he has really been a jewel with this. And so I get the great pleasure of introducing the person who will now introduce the speaker, Dr. Thomas Bundenthal.
Good morning, and thanks to Dr. Wright. He's really the person responsible for this, and we need to make sure we support him in his efforts to continue to bring programs like this to Solano College. It's what makes this college a community. I am abbreviating my comments this morning because I want to make sure we have questions at the end. We will go a regular Tuesday, Thursday class schedule, so we have until 12:15, but I want to make sure we leave that time at the end. So I will only say it is a great honor to introduce Dr. Oliver Kenyi Mogga. He is a recent doctorate from Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. He worked in refugee education, and of course he does a lot of work with the situation in Sudan in terms of organizations within the United States. All I want to say, and because I think this is a curious phrase to be able to say, is that he's one of my best friends in the world. We use that phrase very commonly, but our best friend in the world usually is someone who lives right next door to us or comes from a couple of blocks. The world is changing in a way that we are going to have best friends in the world that actually come from 8,000 or 10,000 miles away. And the reason we need to consider that is to understand the idea that what happens in Sudan, what happens other places in the world, matters to you. You don't know ahead of time necessarily how those events will affect you, but the world is changing in such a way that we can't just be complacent sitting here in Solano County in California and saying, oh, it doesn't matter to us. It does matter. It matters in terms of the foreign policy of the United States, in terms of resource, in terms of environmental, climate wars. It matters in terms of morally and ethically, what do we want to do about genocide and changing the world we live in a positive way. And keep that in mind then as you listen and pay your rapt attention to what Dr. Mogga has to say, and be ready for questions and comments afterwards so we can have a dialogue.